So far away, Nisha. What does green do when in front of the green screen again?
Yeah, if we do certain keying settings, it goes transparent.
Interesting. So for anyone wondering, that this plant, this is not like this is my house plant. This is one of my most beloved and treasured possessions. It is a little fruit tree I bought many, many years ago, and it's in the office because I'm going on holiday. And the people on the front desk have kindly agreed to water it for me while I'm gone.
Oh, that's cute.
Roland Emmerich's creative output has been the cinematic equivalent of diarrhea, in that it's been an unending, sputtering stream of occasionally interrupted and punctuated by the smell of his own farts. A description Emmerich likely wouldn't approve of, given that he once made two of his harshest critics fight Godzilla.
I was trying not to laugh when you were reading that first sentence out, though. That's something.
That took me a long time to write that line. Oh no, I need a sneeze. Oh no. Wait, I can... This is annoying because I sneeze really awkwardly, so I'm trying not to. It may be I'm allergic to my plant. I better not be. Right, so those critics, for anyone curious, were Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, two of the most well-known film critics, I'd argue, ever. With Roger Ebert being one of the few people, I think maybe the only man, to have earned a Pulitzer for criticism. And Siskel and Ebert were among the most influential voices in the world of film, to the point where, when Siskel passed away, he was honoured at the Academy Awards. They talked about, yeah, he didn't sometimes have the nicest things to say about all of our movies, but he was, a powerhouse in our industry.
He's just being honest.
And as far as I've been able to tell in my research, both Siskel and Ebert had eyes, which meant that they did not like Independence Day. And that's not to say Independence Day isn't a fun movie, and it's annoying because the shot I put in the article is Will Smith punching the alien. And that now has an entirely different context from when I wrote it. It's kind of annoying. Thanks, Will Smith.
Oh no! Oh god, no!
Yeah, it's just Will Smith punching someone because they say something he doesn't like. In this case, just in alien screams.
I was just looking over this article and that went over my head till you just mentioned it. Then I was like, oh no!
And that's the thing, Nisha. We could have not mentioned it, but the comments would and be like, "Oh, that's a bit." It's like we know it was worldwide news for 2 weeks straight.
I've seen so many memes and TikToks about it.
Oh man. I still think the best one is that edited photo of Chris Rock's face. They scrunch it up. You see that one?
Yeah.
Where he's just like Independence Day is by no means high art, but it is fun. Because, it's like Will Smith tearing apart a UFO to punch a telepathic alien in the face while just screaming, "Welcome to Earth."
Welcome to Earth.
You can't really fault that. It's not cinema, but it is entertaining.
That is funny.
Yeah, and that is something I appreciated about Siskel and Ebert, where they were, in a sense, your typical film critics of smelling their own farts, wafting about the nature of cinema, and I held those those famous directors that film students and critics always bang on about in high regard, like Kurosawa and Orson Welles and all those. But they did on occasion say they liked just popcorn flicks, for lack of a better term. Although they did have some notable missteps. For example, I think it was Ebert who immediately wrote off the movie The Thing as instant trash or something to that effect. And apparently the review the pair did for Independence Day, along with another review they did for another one of Roland Emmerich's films called Stargate, really irked the director. So much so that he was reported as just complaining about it endlessly in private. Constantly talking about how he would get them back for daring to suggest a film in which Jeff Goldblum sinks a continent-sized UFO out of the sky by giving it a digital essay. No, damn it! Oh, so close! So close! For daring to suggest that a film in which Jeff Goldblum stops a continent-sized UFO by giving it a digital STD was anything less than a cinematic masterpiece.
So what did he do?
Well, when Emmerich was working on, I want to say his magnum opus, the 1990s live-action Godzilla movie, and that's obviously a joke because that movie sucks ass. So much so that there is a very funny story told about when they introduced their design for Godzilla in that movie to Toho. And the story is that they got a maquette, which is a really detailed model of what the Godzilla in that movie was going to look like. And they took it to Toho headquarters under a sheet, and they took the sheet off in front of all these Toho executives, and according to one insider, the room went silent for, and I quote, several minutes.
That's a burn. I can remember, that was the first film that I saw of Godzilla. So to me, and I feel bad now because obviously I know that's not Godzilla, that's not the original design.
It's literally not. Like, Toho made sure of that.
But like that was the first film I saw of Godzilla, so to me that was Godzilla. So I remember when I first saw the original design, I was like, that looks a bit weird. It's supposed to be a monster where you're like, what the fuck is that? Rather than this dinosaur thing. You're like, oh, it's just like a T-Rex.
And I think we mentioned before that Emmerich was very clearly, and I'm going to put big air quotes around this now,
Okay.
influenced by Jurassic Park. Because, like, that final bit where they're running with all the baby Godzillas, there are shot-for-shot rip-offs of scenes from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
In that film, you may have missed that there are some human characters played by several actors, two of which look suspiciously like Siskel and Ebert. Right, hopefully now the pictures are behind me, but Nisha would like to scroll down in the original article and just look about how close they are.
Pretty identical, I would say.
It's so obvious that Ebert himself could have noticed that without his trademark jam jar thick goggles on his face. In case it wasn't obvious enough, Nisha, do you remember the names of those characters?
Nope.
They're called Gene Siskel, and Mayor Ebert.
Really?
Yes.
It's that obvious, is it?
Yep. And Mayor Ebert even does Roger Ebert's famous like 2 thumbs up, because he's the mayor and he's running for re-election, so he gives the big goofy thumbs up, just like Ebert would do when he was like reviewing movies. And do you remember anything about Mayor Ebert's character in the film?
Not really. It's been a long time.
He is woefully incompetent and is arguably as much of a threat as Godzilla because he refuses to issue the order to evacuate Manhattan when a giant dinosaur's attacking it. So he made these characters look exactly like Siskel and Ebert and then made them super incompetent and partly responsible for all the destruction that happens in the movie. And like, can we just talk about as well, like, even though that movie was supposed to be like there's this so masturbatory over the American military, the American military still like fucking suck ass. Like, do you like shoot at Godzilla and miss?
Just miss. It's this giant beast. How can you miss?
And then you have, I think it's Mayor Ebert in that scene, it's like, you just blew up the Chrysler building! And like, whoops.
I'm sure they blew up a lot of buildings during those scenes.
And you might be wondering, dear viewer and Nisha at home, what did Ebert think of him being so obviously caricatured in Emmerich's movie? And like, Joe, do you want to take a guess at how he reacted?
Well, he's either going to be pissed off or he'd just laugh it off.
He was actually annoyed. Like, you were right there. He was annoyed, but not because he was being parodied. No, he was more than used to film directors like making fun of him or taking jabs at him, either in the press or in their work. And there were a couple of famous cases of film directors getting so mad at reviewers that they will do things like this. I think there's a famous example with the Dirty Harry series, where a film critic was saying, like, you know, it's awful, it's like just unreasonably violent, and for one of the sequels they put a character in who looks exactly like her with her name and have her raped and killed on screen. And it's like, yeah,
great. That's
that really showing a great mature way to respond to criticism, and that's something Ebert mentions in his review of Godzilla. So he acknowledges that, yeah, it's not really, you know, unique for directors to do this, but I am a little bit disappointed that they put me in the film and they don't have me get stepped on by the monster. Right? He actually calls out Emmerich for not going further and just uses it as an example of how lazy a filmmaker he is. Of like, he puts me in the film, obviously as a swipe at me for making fun of his movies, and then he doesn't have me get eaten by Godzilla. Like, he makes me incompetent, he makes me the mayor, but my character never gets their comeuppance.
To me, it seems like an obvious thing to do. If you want to, like, if you're pissed off at someone and want to get some sort of revenge, you would have them be killed on screen.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so fun, and that's what Ebert picked up on. Of like, he's not even competent enough to make fun of me properly, and that's something Gene Siskel echoed, writing in a review that the actual swipe at them was very flaccid, and he couldn't fathom why Emmerich would parody and caricature them in his film, but then not go all the way and have them eaten by the monster, and also used it as ammunition for just making fun of how bad the movie was.
I feel like them being stepped on would have been funny, because you could have like the panning shot of their face as the foot comes down.
Yeah, you have that moment of them going, oh dear, like you have that like comedy shot of them looking up and going, oh no.
Yes.
Or something like that.
I can see it now.
And that was Ebert and Siskel's response, like, really? You can't even do this right, Emmerich? You really are bad at this. And what makes this more hilarious is that this exact thing had been handled better in an earlier movie, namely Gremlins 2. And in Gremlins 2, you have a scene where a critic who'd made fun of the original Gremlins has a cameo where he's making fun of Gremlins in universe, and then all the Gremlins come out and eat him.
What's fun about a movie full of ugly, slimy, mean-spirited, gloppy little monsters who run amok and attack innocent people? Our moviegoers so desperate for entertainment that this kind of trash and cast for fun.
He's like,
That's how it's done.
So far away, Nisha, if you were going to get killed by a movie monster or creature, which one would it be? And I don't mean in real life. I mean if you had to be put into a film as like an extra who gets like murked by one of these monsters, what would it be? I think for me, it'd have to be like, a horror movie, like a slasher movie. It'd be one of those really brutal deaths that happens like, randomly. Like I've like Jason Voorhees put like a machete through my head or something like that. Just for the fun of like, getting that behind the scenes shot of the special effects. Or maybe be like an extra who gets crushed by debris, like, oh no! Be one of those, like, be like a really big overactor. Or maybe like, in that Jurassic Park movie, the guy gets eaten on the toilet.
Yeah, I was literally going to mention Jurassic Park. That'd be quite fun. Just being chased by dinosaurs.
Do you know that guy in Jurassic World who's there with like the margaritas?
Yeah.
He saves his drinks. And we know that's Jimmy Buffett. We know that it is, and because Brad will want me to mention this. And
okay.
When I mentioned that scene in a video a few years back, Brad put a fact bar below talking about how that's Jimmy Buffett who wrote the song Margaritaville. And every other comment on that video is, did you know that guy is like, Brad's like, what? We literally had it on screen in black and white and people are asking if we knew. It's like, and it annoys him to this day, so I thought I'd clear that up for him. The thing is though, Nisha, like, would you do the Troll 2? Would you do that overacting of like, oh my god?
That would definitely be me because I can't act for shit.
And that's the one, you can either be really good at that or really bad. Either way, if you're just mediocre, no one can remember. If you are really good, people remember. If you're really, really bad, then you can live on forever as a meme.
They're eating her. And then they're going to eat me. Oh my god!
And just that one of just being like, the guy was like, oh no, like the lady from Alien. Oh god, like that lady will live on forever because that reaction is so fucking terrible.
Oh god, the one that I think of is, I don't know what it's off, I have no idea.
Okay.
But it's the one where the guy goes to the beach and he's got a note in his hand and it's basically his wife's leaving him and the camera starts panning around, he's like, oh god, oh man, oh god, oh man, oh god, oh man.
I don't think we should talk about it. There's your pet. Kill them.
Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. Oh god. Oh man.
I know acting is difficult. Like pretend to be someone else, but in a scene like that, surely you can just tell the person, pretend that it's happened to you.
Yeah.
And like, how do you get that bad at something like that? Like, have you ever seen a person? Have you ever been like around humans? Oh god, oh man. It's like, what? How is that the best take?
Thinking back to like the monsters or being like eaten by monsters, an epic shot would be, like the Meg, just like chilling on the ocean and then shot from above and you just see this massive shark come out and eat you and you're gone.
Oh, yeah,
what an epic end.
I'd like to be one of those casual people who don't even know, like carrying a hot dog or something like that and just get like wiped out without even realising. Like one of those guys. Just chilling in the ocean, drinking a bit of giant shark, comes up, boom. Day of filming, couple £100, craft services all day, done. Perfect day.